Hey good people, how's it going? Welcome to Trapped in the South. Today is Movie Monday. So, today's Movie Monday, which means I picked a movie that either I've never seen before, possibly one of my favorites that maybe I haven't seen in a really long time, or maybe just a movie I've never seen before. And so, today's movie, drum roll that is not ever present, is House Party. So, House Party. House Party was released in 1990. It was directed and written by Reginald Hudlin. It was also produced by Warrington Hudlin. We all know that it was distributed by New Line Cinema. Like I was telling JMN when we were watching it, I was like, New Line Cinema had all the movies. They released everything. I remember seeing the little house that gets put together with like the film strip on like so many movies. I need to actually look into like which ones they did and get like a full running list. But yeah, so this is starting Kid and Play, Full Force, which is what I know to be like Stab and his crew from the show, and then Robin Harris. But of course, I do not know why Wiki is playing. Where is AJ Johnson? Where is Tashina Arnold? No, sorry, Tashina Campbell. Arnold is Pam. Campbell is Martin, or used to be Martin. Newly divorced Martin. So this movie was 100 minutes. And the starting budget for this, or the ending budget for this, the budget for this movie was $2.5 million, and it cleared $26.4 million in the box office. So it made money. It made a lot of money. And this is probably one of those movies that people would probably call like a cult classic, like a legit cult classic movie. And I have seen this movie before. I was probably very young and probably had no business watching it. And even when watching it the other day, like I remembered certain parts of it. Like, of course, I knew the characters and the people who were like mainly there, but I didn't really understand the plot of the movie. Like, I didn't see some of the things that were missing. So basically, for someone who's never seen this movie, it is about a group of friends, high school friends, who one friend decides to throw a party while his parents are away. Which I think he is Play that does that. And he has a house party, like a good old-fashioned house party. And so Martin Lawrence, hello, he should definitely have been one of the stars in the credits. He is the DJ, and Kid is wanting to get to this party so that he can talk to AJ Johnson and Tashina Campbell, because it seems like maybe one of them liked him and wants to give him the time of day, and he is like, let's go. Well, it's always the situation is him getting to the party. So the day of the party, he gets in trouble at school, and he is trying to make sure that his dad doesn't find out that he got in trouble. And so the person that he got in trouble with is like this group of kind of like knuckleheads who are like jocks, and they like try to rough him up, and they get called down to the principal's office, and the principal is just like, I'm very disappointed in you, young man, but since you're such a good student, like, I'm not going to suspend you, but I'm going to suspend y'all because y'all are always in trouble. And so he gets home and he tells his dad, asks his dad, hey, can I go to this party that's going on? And his dad was like, oh, but I wanted to rent movies and watch movies with you. Like, wouldn't you rather do that? And he's just kind of like, eh. So his dad was like, okay, well, we can watch it another time. Well, right after that, of course, the letter from school comes in, and dad gets it and is like, heck no, you ain't going nowhere. You acting a fool at school, you need to sit your behind at home, right? Well, we know he doesn't sit his behind at home. He leaves. He sneaks out when his dad goes to sleep, and he goes to this house party that's a couple blocks away. And so the movie is like all the obstacles that he had to go through to get to the party. So number one was asking dad. Number two was the school situation. Number three is sneaking out. Well, as soon as he leaves his house, the police pull up and they're harassing him for no godly reason. So then the next thing is that those guys from school see him working down the road, and they like full on chase him, and then they end up at breaking, like crashing this like bougie party, and the police gets called on him. And so the police is like, go home, go home. Does he go home? No. He goes to the party, and he's excited because he gets to see this girl who is the AJ Johnson's character, and you know, his mission is trying to like impress her or whatnot, but he kind of is going between her and her friend, and it gets to like a really awkward point where it's just like he's basically telling Tashina Campbell, like, you'll do, and she knows that, and she's very frustrated by that. And so then there's like a rap battle where him and Play rap, and there's another situation where they dance, and it's just real cool. And so he ends up walking these two girls home. Well, on the way there, he's like flirting with Tashina Campbell's friend, and she's like, I'm not kissing you, like, you can call me on Friday, we'll see what's going on, I might want to hang out with you. Well, of course, Tashina Campbell is upset, and she's just like, you don't have to walk me home, I don't want to deal with you. Somehow, some way, she lets him into her house, and they are about to get it, and her parents come home, and so he has to sneak out of the house so that he doesn't get caught. Well, after that, he runs back into those guys again, and he ends up getting arrested. And so Play and Martin Lawrence and Tashina Campbell somehow bail him out of jail. Also during this time, his dad shows up to the party and is looking for him. His dad gets harassed by the police. Thankfully, they let him go. Thankfully, no one is on camera roughhoused by them. And so this movie kind of ends on him sneaking back into the house, and he thinks that his dad is asleep, but he's not, and his dad gets out his belt and starts popping his behind for lying and leaving the house. So as most of you guys know, House Party, there's a 2, a 3, and then there's a 4 that was remade in the early 2000s by the group Immature. And there are some star-studded cameos in this movie. I mean, we actually have John Witherspoon, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but the lady who plays Miss Pearly in Friday, they are acting as a couple and living next door to Play's house during this house party. And it's so interesting because Friday was also not produced, but distributed through New Line Cinema, and House Party 1990, Friday 1995. And so in Friday, Miss Pearly is a neighbor, if I'm not mistaken, or she's in Friday After Next, maybe. And so just to see those two together is kind of funny. And then also another cameo is Stanley from Friday. It's, of course, his younger, I mean, 5 years. Yes, this is a younger version of himself, but they cast him at probably his true age, I would imagine, in this movie. But there were a couple more that I was like, oh, I know who that is, or oh, that's cool. So their word for it, but I'm going to say I love to see recycled talent. I love to look at one movie, maybe in 1990, and then 1992, I see this next character. It's like I'm watching their literal, like, evolution as an artist evolve, and it's just really fun to see their characters like so back to back to back. And even though if I was an adult in that era, like I would have been watching it too, but I think it's just different, especially, you know, I mean, that was 20 years ago, and seeing where that person is now, or whether they have, you know, passed on, or whether they took a hiatus after the 90s and now they're getting back into film and TV. And so I actually saw a TV show where it was called Bigger. It was on BET. I loved it. There was only one season of it, and he actually plays one of the characters' stepfathers. And so I was just like, I haven't seen you in anything in years, and like here you are in this TV series. And I feel like there was something else recently too that I saw him in, and I was just like, oh, that's really cool. And so I enjoy watching the trajectory of their artistry. And so before I babble on too long, that is it. That is House Party. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen House Party, or if you've seen all of them but a couple, or what is your take on them. I most definitely am going to watch 2 and 3. Jury's still out on 4. I don't want to be upset that they came in and probably did something wild to the show, to the movie. But yeah, if you enjoyed this movie, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think I should watch next, and I will see y'all next time.